the last story I had tonight really was the finance minister revealing her date, but probably should have brought it up with Barbara really, because this is more her domain than mine. But yeah, as far as I'm aware, this is unless someone wants to point me in a different direction, this is about the biggest story I could find today. So,
Yeah, it's been
finance
pretty quiet.
minister.
I mean,
Can I have the actual headline? Thank you. There we go.
yeah,
Finance
you
minister
got to
reveals
show the
date
egg.
for 2025 budget. I know, it's so annoying. Which is May 22nd, and she's calling it the growth budget. Now christened by Willis as the growth budget, will be held on May 22nd, go beyond the traditional budget focused on spending and saving initiatives, she said, whatever that means. Amid falling interest rates, the government has seized on growth as a key message going into its second full year in power, with Prime Minister Christopher Luxon using his first speech back in Parliament yesterday to lay out what he called a growth agenda by saying growth about 10 times in 2 minutes. Willis said today Budget 2025 will be squarely focused on ensuring New Zealanders can earn more in the years ahead by growing our economy, i.e. tax breaks for the rich and keeping our friends happy. Finance Minister added that the initiatives planned may include law changes. I think this is what Barbara was saying. Going beyond the traditional budget, focus on spending and saving initiatives. Government intends to introduce several legislative and regulatory measures at the budget focused on removing barriers that hold back job and wealth creation. Who are you? Brooke Van Velden? Heard that one before. And lastly, the Finance Minister's announcements today come after a government's December budget policy statement, which highlighted 4 policy areas of focus for May's budget, lifting economic growth through measures to address New Zealand's long-term productivity challenges, implementing a social investment approach to drive better results from the government's investment in social services, and thereby improve life outcomes for people with high needs. Yeah, okay. Keeping tight control of government spending while funding a limited number of high-priority government policy commitments and cost pressures that cannot be met from reprioritization and developing a sustainable pipeline of long-term infrastructure investments. Operating allowances for budgets 2025, 26 and 27 are 2.4 billion per annum, a very tight range for the government to introduce any initiatives or programs. 2.4 billion.
What does that mean? What is that statement? Has anybody had a look at it, or has too many people had a look at it? That is just bananas. But when I saw that story come, I was like, cool, start the clock. Okay, we've got until May. You have until May, and you promised an announcement on the ferries in March. It is nothing but bad news from now on. Whatever she has got in the budget, she is also going to have to deal with. Well, I don't know. I don't know if Seema's going to do his usual alternative budget. That was his little show pony when Labor were at the heels. That he would come in and go, well, I've talked to the less than 8% people that support me, and we've come up with just an alternative budget that I'll never have to back up in any sort of way. So is he going to do that to his major coalition partner? Ordinarily, if he was a sane person, I'd say, of course not, he wouldn't steal thunder from the major coalition partner. But now it's David Seymour. So I don't know. I think he might still do it. Actually, that would have been a good question to ask Barbara. This is great to have questions after the guest leaves. It's very professional. But wouldn't that be amazing if Labor or the Greens stole David Seymour's thunder by doing an alternative budget? Do it.
An alternative budget to your alternative budget.
Yep.
To the
look, it's very clear that her buzzword for the next couple of months and Luxon's buzzword is growth. Look, what I'd say to you is growth. It
was productivity. It was investment, productivity, but not as much as it's going to be growth.
Yeah, because again, National is really good at identifying a problem. New Zealand's economy is not incredibly productive. The only productive part of our economy is agriculture. Nothing else. But They can see the problem. They can probably see what they need to do to fix it, but they won't because it'll piss off everyone that's backing them.
Mm-hmm.
So we get
Be
fiddling
very
around
woke
the
of them.
edges, digital nomads and stuff like that. Like, yeah. So we're going to get a lot of buzzwords and not a lot of substance, and we're going to get yet more cuts. That's my prediction for May.